Janice, are you there?
At your service, sir.
Give me some of that dating foolishness.
Uploading visuals, sir.
If you go on any PUA forum, Red Pill forum, these guys are learning from their mentors to take women out on coffee dates. Just because we have our own community as women, we have our private Facebook groups, that doesn't mean that these men do not have their own community as well.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. The message of this channel is to protect yourself at all times. And in order to protect yourself, you need to know the dangers that are out there. You need to know who and what to protect yourself from. This video gives an indication of some of the dangers associated with female nature in combination with modern Western society. So now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we men, ain't we?
So the number one reasons why you shouldn't go on a coffee date is because it costs way too much money and you lose money going on these coffee dates. It is not worth it. And you even hear it coming from someone who does vanilla dating. That's why I wanted to bring her on here so that you guys can get, a different perspective.
What she means with it costing too much money is not that she is paying for the date itself. This is what she means.
We're taking the time to do our hair, get our makeup, get clothes, nice shoes, expensive purses, no.
Right.
Women are not on a date for you. When women work, they are not making that money to take care of you. It's all selfish, and as you can see, they spend their money on a lot of dumb things because the sisterhood values superficiality and materialism. This woman here is gonna give us a lot of gems. Pay attention to the mindset, fellas. Let's continue.
Another reasons why you shouldn't go on a coffee date is because for the obvious reason is that coffee dates are low effort dating. And if a guy is only willing to put in the barest minimum, like literally below the bare minimum, because the bare minimum, in my opinion, is a dinner at least at a 3-star restaurant. That's the bare minimum. Okay, you go to the restaurant should have cutlery, not plastic cutlery. It shouldn't have paper napkins on the table. The napkins should be made of cloth. So obviously not Applebee's and what are the other restaurants? Obviously not McDonald's. Olive Garden. Yeah, not Olive Garden or not TGI, obviously. That is the bare minimum in my opinion.
A coffee date is associated with low effort. And in order for a woman to feel special, in other words, to get the validation from the sisterhood, she needs you to put in a lot of effort, i.e. spend money. You see how she started laughing when she mentioned McDonald's? McDonald's is a restaurant, and a burger menu is more expensive than a cup of coffee, but it's considered cheap, low effort. Can't show off to the sisterhood because they will be laughing just like she did. Because this is a superficial thing. Because she says nothing about having a great personality or being emotionally available. Nope. She deserves at least a 3-star restaurant because she's wearing expensive clothes. The foolishness.
I'm gonna share with you guys my first date with my husband. On the first date, we went to the theater. He took me to a play, so obviously he had to buy tickets, and we went to dinner. So obviously, it was an early date. We started off early. We went to the play, then we finished off with dinner. And he planned everything. He didn't call me up and be like, hey, let's go out, and where do you want to go? Because I hate when a guy asks me out and then he turns around and asks me, where do I want to go? Because I can't stand a man who doesn't know how to plan. If you can't plan a date, I don't expect you to be able to plan a life with me at all. Is that fair?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly. Okay. So
no, it's not fair because you take an aspect of life and compare it to life itself that has a lot more aspects to it that need different kinds of planning. Just because I disagree with you on this topic doesn't mean I disagree with everything else you do in life. But hey, a life of whining and dining is probably the life that you want to live. That's why you compare planning a dinner date to planning a life with you in general. So if that's what we're gonna do, let me give you an example that makes more sense, and I'll let her lay the foundation of this example.
If a guy loses his job, that is not your problem. It is not your problem, that is his problem, and he has to deal with that. So let me just answer that question for you. What if you're dating a guy and everything is good, maybe he has a good job or whatnot, and he falls off, you know, basically loses his job and loses everything. What is going to happen is that that guy is going to expect you to be responsible for him. Now, his debt is going to become your debt. Okay, his financial losses is going to become your financial losses as well. You'll have to take care of him. You'll have to provide for him, and maybe even try to find him a job. You know, like that type of relationship dynamics, I am not a fan. But you know, people can date whoever they want, and if women are okay dating financially irresponsible men, that's on them. However, in this community, in the level of community, the hypergamy community, I just don't understand why I'm seeing this question asked. And
you see, why spend your money on a woman that's not gonna be there when you're broke? What happened to loyalty? If you can't be with me on a coffee date or a walk in the park, what's the point of dating? What's the benefit of planning a life together if being together is not about actually being together? This is why modern dating sucks. We have exposed the inability of modern women to give meaning to a man's life many times on this channel. Women don't love you for who you are. They love you for what you can do for them.
You know, he has to be able to plan a date. And if he cannot plan nothing more than a coffee, again, it's a low effort date, and he does not want to invest in you. The type of date that the guy suggested, it just shows how he feels about you. And this is why I don't like online dating, because if you're still doing online dating, you gotta remember that these men haven't met you in person. They haven't been able to make a connection with you, or being introduced with a friend. Okay, so you're definitely gonna get asked out on a lot of coffee dates, because that's how they do it. These men are trained for this.
She makes a good point, because online dating changed the landscape. That's why the coffee date, or not dating at all, makes all the sense in the world. A man has every right to know who he's dealing with before he decides to spend his time, money, and energy on that person. These women are not going to talk about the way women take advantage of men on a daily basis. And I'll get back to this later, because she's going to give us a great example of what I'm talking about at the end of the video. Let's continue.
If you go on any PUA forum, you know, red pill forum, these guys are learning from their mentors to take women out on coffee dates. Just because we have our own community as women, you know, we have our private Facebook groups, that doesn't mean that these men do not have their own community as well. They do, you know, and the reason why they tell men to take women out on coffee date is because they can date as many women as possible, because a coffee is $5. You know, a good dinner is like minimum maybe $200 or something like that. But you know, a coffee is just $5, and you can date as a lot of women for $5. You know, so the only way for you to stand out is not accept a coffee date.
This is gold. It's not just about dating a lot of women. It's about not wasting your time, money, and energy. More about that later, because now I want to talk about the fact that women are aware of the manosphere. Women are looking for answers, because they can want all the dinner dates they want, but at the end of the day, it's men that have to offer, especially men that they want, and the men that they want will take them on a coffee date. If not, it's straight to Netflix and chill. We made a video about a woman going on 100 dates within a year, and she's still single. 25% of these dates were foodie calls. We all know that women will break the rules for Chad and Tyrone, and that's the thing. We men also talk. We also share our experiences with each other. That's how men figure out what works and what doesn't work. Now it's the internet, but back in the day, it was good old word of mouth. When I was a kid, we knew exactly who the hoes were, and I remember one of those hoes tried to get with me, and I told her I knew 2 of the guys she smashed. And she was like, "How do you know that?" And I told her, "We also talk." And then she said, "Please don't tell anybody, alright?" I told her, "It's too late for that." Women know that it's essential for men to be ignorant in order to play this game. The moment you educate yourself on this subject, you will come to the conclusion that all that razzle-dazzle to impress women is foolishness.
You know, a lot of women, you know, when we did the book, Get Into I Do, the author said that, you know, you shouldn't let the guy, you shouldn't suggest anything if you want to stay in the feminine role. But I feel like, you know, there are exceptions to these rules, because I feel like, you know, if you are doing online dating and you want to get dates, you know, you either have to accept the coffee dates, or you can just suggest something. You know, you can simply say, you know, I'm not a fan of coffee, I prefer dinner, or something like that. And you know, if the guy really wants to meet you and he really likes you, he will definitely, you know, be like, oh sure, you can definitely get dinner, you know, whatever. But honestly, do not accept the coffee dates, and I do not want to see the arguments in the group about, you know, and some of the arguments are so dumb. Like, you know, some women will be like, you know, what if you go on a date and you don't like him, you know, with at least a coffee date, you can just leave. I don't care, sweetie, because I have left dates in the middle of dinner at nice restaurants. I got up and leave. You can leave on any date. It doesn't matter what the date is. It could be coffee, which you guys know I don't like, or it could be dinner at a Michelin star restaurant. You know, you can get up and leave if you are not enjoying yourself and you feel like you're being disrespected or whatnot. That's it. That's all. And you know, some women are like, you know, what if there's no chemistry? It doesn't matter. You are on that date, sit there, eat your food, say thank you, because you don't owe anyone anything. Okay, ladies, you don't owe anyone anything. Anything. I don't care what they do for you. I don't care if they buy you a Ferrari. You do not owe them anything more than a thank you.
Fellas, I want you to adopt that same mindset. You do not owe these women anything, and I want you to repeat after me. I do not invest my time, money, and energy into people or things that don't benefit me, because that is foolishness. Make sure you put emphasis on that, foolishness. You see, it doesn't matter what you have done in the past. You don't build equity with women. It's what have you done for me lately. She doesn't care that the date cost you a lot of money. That's why you have to care about your own money. The internet has exposed female nature. Women show their true colors. Believe them when they say they don't care. However, their actions speak louder than words. Always look at a woman's actions and not her words. It's essential that you protect yourself at all times.
And the last reasons why you shouldn't go on a coffee date is when, if you do accept to go on a coffee date, you are just basically telling these men that you do not value yourself, and you are basically telling the universe that you don't care. You just don't care. You are just desperate. You will just go on any date just to go on a date. If you understand that, you know, you are enough, you understand that you are worth more than a coffee, you understand that you deserve nice things, you know, you let the universe know that you put that out in the universe, and the universe is going to bring those things for you. You are going to naturally attract those things. And you know, if someone who is a vanilla dater can say no to coffee date, then you can say no to.
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.